So hey YouTube, sorry for the delay, but the thing is this, we all know we had a phenomenal, absolutely incredible year last year, but I have to train you guys, because since you guys finally have an 8th grade experience, let me make sure that you guys don't fuck up just like I did. And this is really what I'm excited about. Really, now that you guys have 8th grade, your goal this year is to maintain freshmen. Don't fuck up like me and Isaiah, but to maintain freshmen. And in order to maintain freshmen, you have to recognize that you're lacking in something. You have to have something to make up for it. Because the one thing that really, the only reason why I wasn't successful, in freshman year was experience. It wasn't anything about quality, it wasn't anything about skill, it was experience. Not knowing about race, not knowing about agriculture, not knowing about territory in general. When you step into somebody else's territory, literally, I had no idea. You're bound for trouble when you're stepping into somebody's territory, no matter how discreet you're being. Literally, there's no way we're gonna let you play with Kayla's hair first thing, and we know that ever since we were in kindergarten. That really helps when it comes to shit like that. So instead of that, I'm really giving you tools like, instead of being the most popular guy at school first thing, instead of showing off really how you fucking train and how you learn and really outshining people, try being friendly with people, try universal things. Don't try outside, like, don't be the most popular dancer in school, don't do no crazy shit with your fucking hair, literally, but do something that is gonna stand out, that literally shows you that you did learn from your mistakes, and recognize that there are people out there. So really, my suggestion to you is really do things that are generally good, but really ask them about the song on the radio, and don't really go too far. If somebody else, starts something with you in school because you said something clever, that's on them. And really, so yeah, thank you, dude. I know you really enjoyed it. That's why I do it such a delay, but I'm glad you liked the last video. It really is. I know a lot of people have been having problems, like literally freaking, I told my girl the other day, like, I would like to enjoy sports, but unfortunately I have freshman year training. Seriously, if you're having problems with Dark Game, remember, Dark Game is free for various reasons. One, it's random. Two, literally, it's not structured properly. It's basically my story, not yours. It's not yours to figure out. What Dark Game is a piece of Freshmen. You know what freshman year was? Freshman year was a flip of a foundation for somebody literally that used to bank action figures together when he was elementary school, automatically try to get chicks in junior high. And now all of a sudden he knows just tricks with his hands. Gang territory is insane when you actually know what freshman year is about. Because what you have to understand is freshman year is the indication of where you're trying to go. So sophomore year is when we put the fork in the road. Remember, Dark Game is something that you can't take seriously, because at the end of the day, it's just to play with some videos. The reason why I made Dark Game is it's a manual of how to pick up chicks so you can play a game. Dark Game is a manual for a movie I'm making, so you have to understand that it's not for everything, but it also teaches you life lessons. It also teaches you how, it's quick, yoga and meditation techniques. It's not really, life-changing things. Lots of people are complaining about Kimochi and Valentine's Day special, about how Dark Game isn't allowing them to actually get women intellectually, that I'm using cheap tricks to get women, I don't feel good about it, that I don't feel good about the woman I'm getting, I'm getting them in a superficial way, and that's the whole reason why I made Dark Game, to show you it's everything that a boy can do before he becomes a man. You can get this car easy by knowing that it only takes this amount of months to get fucking, shit like that, but then you have to deal with the stopping society, and then you have to deal with literally fucking, you don't understand, it wasn't just Dark Game. Dark Game was me before I had my revelation. So you have to understand, it's still fucking me without training. Dark Me is me trying to really pretend that I'm running the company. We're literally I'm basically running myself, but I'm fucking a dope ass person. So but eventually you're gonna have to break the barrier. And in order to do that, you have to have a revelation. What you have to understand is freshman year did make me jealous, because the people, it made me jealous of really the position that people are in. Like Justin Washington always pissed me off with those co-ed fucking bands. He wasn't even cool, he could barely fucking tell a fucking joke. But literally, it defined who he was as a person, and I figured out literally, maybe your OG fucking told him to do that. Because I can do everything literally it wasn't the fact that he did shit at all. Literally, I care about the same pair of bands. It's the fact that he's wearing those bands in his position, and it pisses me the fuck off. Like really, because he's in control and I'm trying to gain control. It just isn't shit. So everything happens for a reason. He didn't know Kayla since first grade. C told him where to shop. Yada bullshit. But one thing you have to understand, the difference between freshman and sophomore in general is freshman is the introduction to something, and sophomore is the continuation. That's That's why I trained everyone last year, and this year you have to keep up the momentum. So I heard some of them are good, but it's really hard to adapt to the environment because really I heard that some dark gamers were forced to fight, and so I gave you a hint of the tutorial. I can't really give you a full fucking summary of really a tutorial, but that also comes in hand with dark game. So dark game is literally things. Dark game is intertwined with conspiracy and shit. So really fucking you have to be dedicated to my channel, and my channel would be like really since we're doing COVID, it's a part of community service, so like really, but you can't get entrepreneurship unless you go through a certain amount of tests and a certain amount of evaluations to see if you're stable enough, you know, to use this equipment, because this is professional equipment we're working with. All my girls are trained in all forms of martial arts. Dark game shouldn't be used in high school. It is prohibited to be used in high school. And one thing I noticed about freshman and sophomore is the reason, if you keep on my channel, is the reason why I got away with everything wasn't just because of the beginning. Because software has a different set of rules and regulations for no purpose. No, that was a game member secrets, but what the true purpose of this was. We actually go to a definition. If you put two and two together, if you do a ton of research, and then you look at level 1 and level 2, it's not the same as freshman and sophomore. What makes level 1 and level 2 is that sophomore has to do with human beings and human being struggles. So the difference between freshman and sophomore is a freshman can take more risk because he still has the kid pass, but sophomore you have more experience, so therefore there's less excuses. It happened the same. If you go watch the ARL channel, Marcel literally had, you know, a really good first season, but the second season he ended up just like me. He ended up getting bodied by a car, he ended up getting bodied by Duel, and that's what happens when you continue something. Or you're gonna have the same mindset throughout. And literally, part of having a personality is having a personality that's concrete, that doesn't fluctuate based off your mood. Literally, because therefore, like literally, it's not personality at all. Because a personality means you can put yourself back together. Literally, a personality is like literally how you maintain it. That's why literally dark game isn't literally how you gain a concrete personality. Because somebody can literally, you know, fucking, you know, throw your whole fucking image off, and literally you don't fucking know what to do yourself. So you earn some bullshit, but when things don't go your way, you have a temper tantrum. Once we break through all that fame and fucking fortune, it's literally, so what a dark game does is it gives you, like, you know, a rise and fall in a freshman year, I believe, but what it doesn't give you inside the situation, because dark game like literally revolves on you being in your own little world and how to collect it and, you know, gain materials for your own little world, and that will give you your own, like, you know, merchandise and your personality. What that's not gonna give you is that's not gonna make you go against the grain, because those are tools to help you be a cousin chip. To be a cousin chip, you have to walk and talk to realize my both is meaningless and say just fuck this. So you understand, that's what happened to me. My freshman year I got away with stealing. My sophomore year I barely got away with stealing, and when I did it scared the shit out of me, but I didn't get anything out of being a good person too. And you know what that means? That means you have to understand, like, saying in time and like what true bullshit is. Like really, what the things that sophomore year is like, you're getting older, you're getting closer to junior year. So how you handle sophomore year is your resolve for junior year. Junior year is the bridge to senior year of what you're truly gonna do. You gotta be lazy, or you're gonna look up how to pay taxes, or you gotta do this and that. That's what they hit you with and shit. So my suggestion, what you have to do from now on is you have to, like, you have to actually be a part of something. Like later on, like not right now, but when you literally, for all my dark gaming sort in the current state where it's probably now, is like, you know, use dark gaming in order to filter out the maze of the troubles that you're in at the current moment. But when it comes down to it, understand that you have to be a part of a club called bowling, and, you know, all this shit in order for in order to make dark game, you know, profitable, because you can't apply it, and that's the whole thing. Like really, these are skills that you fucking combine with other things of profession, so you need to have a signature for somebody else in order to do it. That was my biggest problem, and that's when you end up literally having this big rap career, but then you end up on like chat with a whole bunch of users, and then they try to use that against you, and you can't be back as a mean shit because you're still in the same situation as them, literally. And you think this way, buddy, what's actually happening? And so that's why you actually have to fill yourself up for actual shit. Continuation means that you can't really make the same excuses all the time. Therefore, you have to raise, you have to reach high levels and like literally do things like reach grand houses. Sacrifices have to be made. So like literally, so one thing that you have to understand. So I'm gonna put this. Start off with this, like dominoes. Literally, you know what? Damo, aka Dominique Trumpy and dominoes. This is how you truly win at life. And literally, what I learned is, literally, you know how people hold on to their pieces. You know, yo, I'm gonna say the best piece for last. You know, you told me to get rid of the big pieces first. If you know how dominoes works, that means you want to literally fucking, you want to get rid of the double six, because they collect all the fucking numbers at the end. Like if someone dominoes, he takes your numbers at the end. So what ends up happening is you want to get rid of the big numbers. When he collects your fucking points, it's not a lot of points. You're dealing with popular kids in high school, you have to get them as little ammo as possible. Make it to a point where it's professional, to a point where they're getting in your personal business. Because really, they're trying to get you, they're probably gonna, do some other, resources to try to bring you down. It's really very specific, but you have to understand that literally my drama class was insane. Like, you have to understand literally fucking my drama class, both my junior year and my 8th grade year, was insane because literally it showed that I was literally hiding away from my mob, but literally that I was hiding away from my silent rejection. So you have to be aware of territory. Territory is literally the biggest thing you have to be aware about in freshman year. So literally freshman year is literally your entry fee. So you don't need to gain territory, because that was my problem. I ended up having to gain territory because I stepped into the wrong territory. So just recognize territory. Like literally, you don't have to worry about recognizing things like agriculture and politics and shit like that, because literally a lot of dark games in that community are still young, but at the same time, like literally freaking this, just try to do your best. I'm relaxing shit, so I already did my part. So like, that's my advice.